In the world of pirates, the seas were never just a backdrop. They were a force, an unpredictable ally, and sometimes a terrifying enemy. But what if the pirates didn't just fear the storms that raged above them, but sought to harness them? What if they believed that the very lightning that struck from the sky could heal the broken, the maimed, and the sick? This is the story of Dr. Jeremiah Steele, a pirate surgeon who was both revered and feared for his unorthodox methods. Steele wasn't just any healer. He was a man who believed that lightning, the very force of nature that could tear a ship apart, could also mend wounds, bring back lost limbs, and cure the incurable. His infamous claim was that the storms themselves were a source of power he could use. The crew of the Thunder's Edge had seen his miracles, witnessed them firsthand. Pirates with limbs hacked off in battle were brought back to full strength after a storm struck. Sailors who had been on the brink of death from fever were healed with the shock of a thunderstorm. But it wasn't the work of a traditional surgeon. No, Steele believed that by stitching a wound while the storm was at its peak, the energy from the lightning could infuse the body, revitalizing it with the power of nature itself. But as always, when man plays with forces he doesn't understand, things begin to unravel. And as Steele's belief in his lightning-powered cures grew stronger, so did the storms. And it wasn't long before his miracles began to come with a price. Dr. Jeremiah Steele did not become a pirate surgeon by accident. Before the sea claimed him, he had studied medicine in dirty ports and military camps, places where men died screaming and fast decisions meant survival. By the time he joined a pirate ship, he had already seen enough blood to last a lifetime. But Steele was never satisfied with what he knew. To him, ordinary medicine was weak, slow, incomplete. Aboard the Thunder's Edge, a hardened pirate ship feared across trade routes, Steele found the perfect laboratory. The pirate crew was constantly injured, burns from cannons, deep blade wounds, shattered bones from storms and battles. Death was common, pain was constant, and fear, that was the true sickness Steele wanted to cure. It started during a violent storm. A wounded pirate crewman, bleeding heavily, was expected to die before morning. Steele had no more bandages, no alcohol, no herbs, just desperation. As thunder shook the deck and lightning split the sky, Steele stitched the wound anyway, working fast, hands shaking as electricity cracked overhead. When lightning struck the mast moments later, the ship vibrated like a living thing. By morning, the injured man was alive. More than alive, stronger. His fever was gone. His wound closed unnaturally fast. The pirate crew whispered about it. Steele listened. From that moment on, he formed a belief that would define everything that followed. Storms were not chaos, they were medicine. Lightning was not destruction, it was power searching for flesh. Steele began timing surgeries with storms, dragging wounded pirate crewmen onto the deck, forcing operations while thunder roared. Some survived. Some healed faster than nature allowed. And that was enough to convince him. The captain of the pirate ship allowed it because results mattered more than reason. A living crew meant a stronger ship. But no one asked what price was being paid, or where the excess energy was going. Because storms don't give power for free. They take something back. At first, the results were impossible to ignore. The pirate crew of the Thunder's Edge began to fear storms less than battle. Broken men returned to duty. Deep wounds closed too fast. Fevers vanished overnight. Steele's reputation spread across the pirate ship like wildfire. Some called him blessed. Others whispered that he had made a deal with the sky itself. But the storms began to change. They arrived too often, too suddenly. Clear skies would collapse into thunder within minutes, as if something was calling them. The ocean darkened whenever Steele prepared his tools. The pirate crew started noticing patterns. Every surgery demanded a storm, and every storm demanded something in return. The healed men were not the same. One pirate crewman, whose shattered leg had been fixed during a lightning strike, began waking at night screaming. Another could no longer sleep unless thunder rolled overhead. Their bodies worked, but their minds drifted. They stood too still, listened too closely to the wind. Some claimed they could feel lightning crawling under their skin, like something trapped inside them. Steele refused to listen. He pushed further. He stitched during stronger storms. He exposed wounds deliberately during lightning strikes, convinced he could perfect the process. The pirate ship became a floating altar, its deck soaked in rain and blood as thunder answered every incision. Then the deaths began. Not clean deaths, not quick ones. A healed pirate crewman collapsed mid-watch, his body seizing as lightning flashed overhead. No storm cloud in sight. Another burst into flames during light rain, skin burning from within. The crew panicked. They begged the captain to stop the surgeon. But Steele saw it differently. To him, these were failures, proof that the process wasn't complete yet. He believed lightning was trying to enter the human body fully, and that resistance caused the damage. The answer, he claimed, was more exposure, more storms, more stitching. And when the pirate crew realized the surgeon was no longer healing storms, but feeding them, they understood too late. The storms weren't healing the men. They were learning from them. By now, the Thunder's Edge was no longer just a pirate ship. It was a moving scar across the ocean. Storms followed it the way sharks follow blood. The pirate crew stopped counting days and started counting thunderclaps. Every flash of lightning felt personal, like the sky was checking if they were still there. The healed men became warnings. One pirate crewman could smell storms hours before they formed. Another swore he could hear lightning humming inside the ship's walls. Their veins darkened. Their scars glowed faintly during rain. When thunder rolled, they stood upright, alert, almost listening. Whatever Steele had stitched into them hadn't healed. It had connected. The ocean reacted too. Fish floated dead after surgeries. Compasses on the pirate ship spun uselessly during storms. The mast cracked again and again, yet never fully broke, as if something refused to let the ship sink. The crew began sleeping below deck, terrified of the sky, terrified of the surgeon, terrified of the next operation. But Steele had crossed a line he could not see anymore. He believed storms were evolving, that lightning was trying to become flesh. He prepared his final experiment in secret, stitching multiple wounded pirate crewmen together during the heart of a storm, creating a living circuit for lightning to pass through. He claimed it would stabilize the energy, control it. The captain refused, so Steele waited for the storm to choose for him. When the largest thunderhead any of them had ever seen swallowed the horizon, Steele dragged his patience onto the pirate ship's deck. Rain hit like nails. Wind screamed through the rigging. The sky flashed non-stop, turning night into white fire. The pirate crew watched in horror as Steele raised his needle one last time. That was the moment they understood the truth. The storms were no longer natural. They were coming back to finish the stitching. The lightning did not strike once. It struck through them. When the storm finally released its full force, the deck of the pirate ship lit up like a living nerve. Electricity ran along wet ropes, metal tools, stitched flesh, and cracked wood, binding everything together in one violent moment. The pirate crew below deck felt it in their bones. The ship screamed, the ocean recoiled, and then silence. When the rain stopped, the storm was gone. No wind, no thunder, just a dead, heavy calm that pressed down on the Thunder's Edge. The pirate crew slowly climbed back onto the deck, expecting to find bodies. What they found was worse. The stitched men were gone. Not burned, not thrown overboard, simply absent. In their place, the mast was fused. Wood and iron melted together. The deck bore blackened lines, like veins burned into the planks. The pirate ship itself had changed. Dr. Jeremiah Steele was still there. He stood frozen where the lightning had last struck him, needle still in hand. His eyes were open but empty. When the captain touched him, Steele collapsed into ash, scattering across the deck and washing away with the rainwater. No body, no remains, just the smell of ozone. From that night on, the Thunder's Edge never encountered another storm. Not once. The sky avoided it. Clouds split apart overhead. Lightning struck the sea around the pirate ship, but never touched it again, as if the storms remembered, as if they had already taken what they came for. The pirate crew believed the truth in silence. Steele didn't heal with lightning. He taught it, and the storms learned enough. So now ask yourself, if nature offers power, is it healing you or studying you? If the story made you pause, write your thoughts in the comments. Would you trust a cure powered by the sky itself? Subscribe for more forbidden pirate experiments and dark sea legends, because some knowledge should never be stitched together.